a moment for some marriage truth. Sometimes I find myself frustrated with my husband because expectations that I've set are just not being met in our day-to-day lives. For example, it is my expectation for my husband to fix things, clean things, do little sweet things for me without me having to ask him. But many things go undone unless I either do them myself or I ask him multiple times, at which point I'd rather do it myself anyway. So as I'm expressing this to the Father, I'm thinking he's going to validate me and comfort me. But he led me to Hebrews chapter 12, and basically he was like, daughter, I'm going to need you to set aside everything that causes your run to be hindered. Because at the end of the day, I have written out a purpose for you to complete before I call you home. So instead of focusing on how clean your house is or how unromantic your husband is, I need you to focus on the joy that I have promised you will come at the end of your race. Everything else is just a distraction. He then goes on to say, pursue peace with all men, including your husband, and holiness. Because without peace and holiness, no man will see the Lord. And let me tell you what's happening when you're not intentionally pursuing peace and holiness. You're making yourself vulnerable to a root of bitterness, and bitterness always leads to abandonment of the faith. So get up, shake off the frustration, shake off the discouragement, the laziness, and start putting forth effort in this spiritual warfare. Be strengthened by faith and prayer, and let's run. Because remember, your days are numbered and the time is short. And one day you're going to have to answer to God as an individual. We won't be able to bring up our husbands and what they did or didn't do. I want you to honestly ask yourself, if the things you don't like never change, will you still do and be who the Father has called you to? I know many influencers glamorize Christianity and their relationships, but when you're walking with the Lord for real, it's not always so cute. He requires us to do things that we don't always find pleasurable.